During the first Russell T Davies era of Doctor Who, the Daleks instigated high-profile invasions of modern-day Earth on 2 separate occasions. The Cult of Skaro invaded Earth with an army unleashed from the Genesis arc in Doomsday, and Davros's new empire of Daleks invaded when Earth was taken to the Medusa Cascade in the Stolen Earth and Journey's End. Later, during the Chibnall era, the Daleks were active on Earth several more times, with incursions from a recon scout and Dalek executioners, as well as a full-scale invasion undertaken by the Defense Drone Daleks, and a subsequent assault from time-travelling Death Squad Daleks in Revolution of the Daleks. However, the established chronology of Earth's timeline from Classic Who seemed to indicate that, according to recorded human history, the first major invasion of Earth undertaken by the Daleks that the general population were aware of was the 22nd century Dalek invasion of Earth from the First Dalek War. The key word to call attention to there is recorded human history, because it would seem from what we see in New Who that while the 22nd century Dalek invasion of Earth was not the first Dalek invasion that the general population were aware of, it was the first Dalek invasion that the general population remembered. The 21st century Dalek invasions all occurred due to some form of temporal incongruity, either invasions initiated by displaced survivors of the Time War, or instances of time-travelling Daleks making incursions on Earth, thereby altering history. The 22nd century Dalek invasion of Earth was the first full-scale invasion of Earth in human history conducted by the Daleks in their native time zone, so it was the first major Dalek invasion to be a natural part of Earth's history in its own unaltered timeline. Because this interaction between Dalek and human history took place without the meddling of time travel, it was the first invasion that the general population were capable of remembering. There are other examples of Dalek involvement in established human history that also follow this pattern. The emergence of the Recon Scout on Earth, identified at that point by human soldiers as simply an unknown drone, due to no prior public Dalek invasions being part of natural human history at that point, as well as later conflicts between Earth and the Daleks during the Second and Third Dalek Wars, which appear to be an established part of human history as well. The fact that the 21st century Dalek invasions conducted by the Cult of Skaro and the New Dalek Empire respectively could not be recalled by the majority of the human population would seem to indicate that the timelines eventually healed from the temporal incursions conducted by the Daleks, but at the cost of eliminating the memories of those events from all but a few select humans. This also applies to Dalek attacks that took place in the past, such as the Cult of Skaro's final experiment in New York in 1930, or the creation of the Dalek Ironside project in London 1941. Indeed, it is logical to conclude from what we have seen in Doctor Who so far that the only people on Earth who would be capable of recalling the events of the 21st century Dalek invasions will be those who had already been time travellers themselves, or those with specific knowledge of altered timelines and alien incursions, i.e. the Doctor's companions and former companions, as well as the highest ranking members of UNIT. There could perhaps be some others, like powerful individuals with private access to alien tech, or maybe those who have been affected so deeply by the events of the incursion that they still retain some echo of those events, even if they couldn't remember them fully. But for the most part, the events of the Dalek invasions of the 2000s will be completely erased from the minds of the surviving population. This solution solves 2 problems regarding Doctor Who's continuity. It rationalises the New Who Dalek invasions from the RTD and Chibnall eras into the pre-established timeline given to us in Classic Who, and it also explains the odd phenomenon of the general public conveniently forgetting about the Daleks every few years or so. However, a more radical suggestion given in several pieces of Doctor Who media indicates that the pre-Time War and post-Time War incarnations of the universe are in fact 2 completely different universes, with the Time War acting as a bridge between one universe and the next. This idea was created primarily to circumvent the implication that events from New Who were rewriting or overwriting the established chronology of Classic Who, but it does have some merit, particularly when it comes to the history of the Daleks, the Cybermen and the Time Lords, and the differences between these histories across various forms of Doctor Who media. What do you think? Do you have a theory as to how the 21st century Dalek invasions fit into Earth's established timeline? Do you believe in the healing timeline theory, the 2 universes theory, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to
Dalek Bumps.